between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Broncos are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
For a team that came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
14.
Play action. Now Wilson. Rolling to his right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the Chiefs who got the road victory there, so now looking to claim the season series at home in KC. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not the kind of gain that will go absolutely crazy for him, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength. He's going to get those tough, gritty.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 33 yards that time.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Mahomes going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at about the 1. On the return, it's Washington. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guy
trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes rolling to his left. And this one's incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He finds his man, Sky Moore. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
But it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stepped stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now Wilson on first down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Chiefs at 11-4 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Booker is on target, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now Williams running left. And some room to roam now. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. There on the stop was Leo Chanel.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
action. It's Wilson. On the move to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go. Oh, the ball is out. Edwards-Helaire lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Credit the stop there to Leo Chanel, getting into the backfield and stopping him in his tracks. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Williams is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points. And my goodness, another interception. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And the lead will hold at 10. So 1st and goal quickly turns into 4th and goal, and then 4th and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Broncos. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. 37 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. At their own 25-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mahomes now to throw.
And no hesitations. They go right back to Kelsey.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And now here is another interception. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Ron Thornhill.
So the first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and trying not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Travis Kelce in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
So just 8 kicks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gutton, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. They'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action with Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum. The other side is starting the game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. He's got the first down and more. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Stopped and handed a loss by Willie Gay that time.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2nd down and goal. Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now Edwards-Helaire. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and the deficit will hold pat at 13. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
This time, Wilson will throw.
He'll drop this down to Williams. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to have it here just past the 25. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Caden Stearns.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On first down, Wilson. He gets it to Cooks.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Wilson will throw again. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line well short. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 44 yards out, left hash. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's caught inside the 30.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Patrick Mahomes, he can do everything seemingly, and that time he just reared back and let it fly.
On first down, Mahomes. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
63 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here. He just ran them into field goal range with that one, so here come the choices. Do they kick it here, or do they trust him to make another big play and possibly get a first down?
And he's got room. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And here's Edwards-Helaire.
But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Now it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explode.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
After the sack on first down, Mahomes. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Grady Jarrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
Hey, 43, 15.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They'll start by running the option to the right. Oh, no, he lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. A 2nd time. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
The Chiefs take over 1st at their own 25-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.